Joe Gutfeld, who writes, and I quote, Shalom Chaim, please give your opinion on the following people. Mike Tyson. Well, Mike Tyson, of course, is the black boxer who became a black Muslim when he was in prison. He was put in prison after being convicted of raping a young black woman. He raped a young black woman, which is something that the vast majority of rapists in America, even though the blacks are 13% of the U.S. population. Black males are about 6% of the U.S. population, and yet that 6% are the majority. The substantial majority of rapists in America are black. Majority of murderers in America are black. And Mike Tyson was one of them. He was sentenced to a prison term after raping this woman, and then in prison he became a black Muslim. This scum. And the next one on the list is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, another rapist. This is a child rapist. He's a pedophile who raped, who wanted to be white. He tried to turn. He was born a black male, and he tried to turn himself into a white female, and used creams and drugs and everything to lighten his skin. Just sick. I mean, really a sick individual. And was a pedophile. He raped a 14-year-old Jewish boy, and he raped a 14-year-old Hispanic boy. Just a rapist of young boys. And he is so celebrated. His music and the thing and just so celebrated. Billions of people go to listen. Literally billions of people have gone to listen around the world to his music, and it's sickening. And the next person on the list is former NFL quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. I think it's Roethlisberger. Okay, it says here Roethlisberger. I think it's Roethlisberger, if I'm not mistaken. This is a so-called Christian, evangelical Christian. He's a white guy. He was a so-called evangelical Christian, white guy, who became a serial rapist and sexual predator. This is an example of white scum, although it's much less common among whites than among blacks. That's a fact. Next person on the list is Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo, of course, attacked women, sexually assaulted women. I don't know if he actually raped any women, but he certainly sexually assaulted and attacked them. Also, vile individual. California Governor Gary Newsom. What a disgusting individual. Just such a hypocrite. This is a guy who was saying we can't have any contact with people without masks, and there can't be gatherings of more than 10 people, and so on and so forth, which I'm not against. I wasn't against, or especially during the height of the pandemic, of the corona pandemic. I wouldn't be against that, but he violated all of it and had unmasked mass gatherings in order to raise money and in order to party and have a nice time. One rule for him and another rule for everybody else, and he's literally destroying the state of California. He's a left-wing, low-life animal who is destroying the state of California. Thank you, Joe Gutfeld. And now we go to our other friend, Truth Spreader, who writes, and I quote, most people never heard of these drugs, but discuss them anyway. Oh, Truth Spreader, I don't know anything about any of these drugs. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a chemist. I don't know anything about these drugs, and I don't use drugs. So I just don't know anything. Datura, scopolamine, flaca, bolt salts, crocodile. I don't know anything about this stuff, Truth Spreader. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I just don't know anything about this. I go cold on this program. I don't do research in advance. So I don't know anything about these drugs. I'm sorry. I apologize. In general, I think drugs are bad. I want to say something because I realized this week how little people understand about something else. It's a drug. It's a drug that's supposed to help you. That's supposed to help you with inflammation and with pain. They're called NSAIDs. IIDs, which is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. And examples of them are ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, drugs like that. Okay. And they're supposed to help you with inflammation, and they do relieve inflammation, and they can relieve pain. But they're non-aspirin. They're non-aspirin anti-inflammatories. And there's a difference between the aspirin anti-inflammatories and the non-aspirin anti-inflammatories. The non-aspirin anti-inflammatories increase your chance of getting a heart attack or a stroke. If you're in danger of getting a heart attack or a stroke, these drugs will increase your chance. Ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, they will increase your chances. And there are warnings actually on the labels if people read the labels of these drugs. Next time you go to the drugstore, take a look at what it says on the bottle. They increase your chances of heart attack or stroke. They're not good for you. They raise your blood pressure levels. They're not healthy. Yes, they can reduce pain. Yes, they can reduce inflammation. And there may be instances where if you're healthy enough to take it, where you might need it because of inflammation or because of pain or something. It might be necessary. Once in a while it might be necessary, but certainly don't make it a habit of using these drugs. They're not good for you. Now, aspirin, not anti-inflammatory drugs. They're aspirin anti-inflammatory drugs. That's different from Advil, Motrin, ibuprofen, or however you pronounce it. The aspirin anti-inflammatories do not increase your chance of having a heart attack or a stroke. In fact, decrease your chance of having a heart attack or stroke. There's also a downside, though, to the aspirin. Everything you do is, when it comes to drugs, everything has side effects, downside. There's good side, there's bad side to some of these drugs. Aspirin is good in terms of people who are in risk for getting heart attack or stroke. Aspirin is good for you for that. But it's bad for your stomach. It depends what your condition is, what your situation is, because it could be bad for your stomach. It eats away at the stomach lining, at the lining on your stomach, and can give you ulcers. So there are good signs and good sides to it and bad sides. If someone is at high risk of heart attack or stroke, sometimes they have to take a small dose of aspirin every day. Sometimes it's worthwhile for you to do that. That's something you should consult a doctor with. But again, the aspirin anti-inflammatories decrease your chance of heart attack or stroke, but can eat away at your stomach lining, so you have to be careful and you have to consult with a doctor before doing it. The non-aspirin anti-inflammatory drugs increase your chance of getting heart attack or stroke. They can reduce inflammation and reduce pain, but they increase your chance, so they can be dangerous. So again, I hope people will bear that in mind. Thank you, Truth Spreader, for giving me at least a chance. I'm sorry that I couldn't comment on your drugs here because I don't know any of these 5 drugs that you listed, but at least you gave me a chance to speak about something that I think people should know more about. Now we go to our friend Ram Sheva Sheva Efes, who writes in Hebrew, and we'll quickly translate. Shalom Rav Chaim Hatzadik, Ma Shlomcha, Ma Datcha, Shenaseh Mifkash Zoom Nosaf, Gam Ani, Gam Ech HaKesher Im Bocher. Okay, this is stuff that Ram writes to me about. It's some of the business that we take care of and we do together as far as interviews and other things.
This guy didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
This is where we're keeping it
Yeah.
It's bizarre. Terminal 2 is never
You two knew you were doing that.
You know what we're doing, but don't follow us.
This is the free shuttle bus servicing Terminals 1, 2, and 8. For service to Terminals 4, this stop is Terminal 2. Bus serves Terminals 1, 2, and 8. For service to Terminals 4, 5, and 7, Jamaica. Federal Circle rental cars.
Well, even the
Long-term parking.
OGs are nice. The ones with the
Boulevard and
windshield
Howard
punched in a little bit.
Exit
You like those
early
too?
and take the air train. The
And
next
these
stop
are the
is
next
Terminal
generation.
8. Thank you for your patience as we build a whole new JFK.
Terminal 2. Terminal 2. Terminal 2. This is Terminal 2. Next stop, Terminal X to the air train. Terminal 2. Terminal 2. Terminal 2.
This stop,
Next stop,
Terminal 2.
X to the air train. Terminal 2. Terminal 2.
Up here. I don't know. I kind of just want to die right now. Cool. Hey, look at that. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, you should It smells like beer! Get me out of I feel bad. First time for everything. Holy you get your hand and stuff. I got you. Sorry, bro. Wait, he's still going. I'm not going to stand in front of him. Hold on, let me get him out. Stand at the end, drop it.
what?